Hi there, I'm back with a new video. A few months ago we had some indications that Warner Brothers was prepping up to be sold off to another big studio. But now all the pieces are falling into place, and this will happen after April. You'll say, why April? It's when David Zaslav's lockup period ends. So from there on, he can sell or merge Warner Brothers with another studio. He was never interested in keeping the company. He's actually just a salesman trying to make the studio more attractive so he can make an extra buck by selling it. And that's why they did the deal with Tom Cruise to bring him to the company. Or that's why also Superman Legacy is not a solo movie but an ensemble feature to show to the future buyers that they were getting a huge catalog of superheroes. Even with these two new additions, they couldn't convince any more talent to work with them, because all of them knew that Warner Brothers would be sold off. And because of this, and their constant flops at the box office, made their stock price nosedive to historical lows. The other factor was David Zaslav had only experience with reality television programs, and not managing a company with theatrical releases, which needs a different kind of skill set. There was no way this person could save Warner Brothers. He was way over his head. The only thing he knew was to tax write-off movies like he did with Batgirl and Coyote vs. Acme. The frontrunner to pick up Warner is Universal, since Zaslav had a meeting with them several months ago. But there's always Netflix in the sidelines. We can only wait and see. There is also an article on Variety talking about this whole situation, so let's check it out. Warner Brothers spends big. Joker 2 budget hits $200 million. Lady Gaga's $12 million payday, courting Tom Cruise new deal, and more. What? Are we serious? $200 million? Wasn't the first one around $60 million? Instead of trimming the fat, they're spending more money. But do they have this kind of money to spend, with the company being in this state where it is right now? In January, Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group chiefs Michael DeLuca and Pam Amdy jetted to London to connect with the new crown jewel of the studio, Tom Cruise. The three met to identify a film that would kick off their non-exclusive strategic partnership. Sources say a raft of possibilities were discussed, including an Edge of Tomorrow follow-up and a Quentin Tarantino's The Movie Critic, which currently isn't set up with a distributor and has Warner Brothers, like every major studio, salivating. And who wouldn't want to pick up the distribution rights for Quentin Tarantino's new movie? At 61, Cruise remains the king of studio tentpoles, a roost solidified by 2022's Top Gun Maverick, which took in $1.5 billion worldwide. But Cruise wants more than action stardom. He'd like to return to working with auteurs like Paul Thomas Anderson. In fact, he hasn't earned an Oscar nomination for acting since he appeared in Anderson's 1999 drama Magnolia. Earlier in his career, Cruise benefited from being directed by heavyweights like Spielberg, Scorsese, and Kubrick. But then he moved into a Mission Impossible orientated phase where he routinely defies the laws of time and gravity. So this is how they lure Tom Cruise to Warner Brothers. They're trying to pair him up with Tarantino so he can get a chance to be nominated again for an Oscar. But the real reason they're doing all this is in the next paragraph. The strategy at Warner Brothers right now, and the reason they made some of these big star deals, is they're basically playing with other people's money. They're shopping for Quentin Tarantino or Cruise with the notion they can use them as a shiny object that is going to be additive when Zaslav sells the company. So it's no secret anymore that Warner Brothers will be sold. Just have to wait and see when this will happen and by whom. That time may be approaching. In April, Warner Bros. Discovery can entertain offers to buy, sell, or merge with a studio like NBC Universal, as many on the lot believe it will happen. That's when the 2-year lockup period expires as part of the 2022 deal that united Warner Media and Discovery. All of recent moves, from the first look back with Margot Robbie, Lucky Chap, to the quest to land Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer follow-up, are akin to painting a house before it hits the market. As you can see, from the first day Zaslav acquired Warner Bros., his goal was to sell it to make a quick buck. Now, is Universal the best option? I would prefer Warner to remain being an independent company, but those days have passed where Warner can become viable again. It's the only option left. Universal has been doing well, but if you're hoping that you would get the Snyderverse restored, the possibilities are very slim. They'll probably reboot the DC Universe without James Gunn, since they'll probably want a CEO of their own. I'm starting to believe that Zaslav hired Gunn to lure a potential buyer. Now, is Universal the only option? We still have Netflix that courted the idea in acquiring the Snyder DC Universe. But after Rebel Moon not being a huge success, there's a big possibility the streaming giant would avoid picking it up. So what do you all think about Warner being sold out to Universal? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you and have a good one.